British history over the last 1600 years is a long journey shaped by invasions, royal struggles, religious change, scientific progress, industrial growth, and the rise and fall of global influence. After the decline of the Roman Empire, Roman soldiers withdrew from Britain around the early 5th century. The island was left divided among local rulers and became vulnerable to new settlers. Germanic peoples known as the Anglo-Saxons and Jutes arrived and established kingdoms. This Anglo-Saxon period created the foundations of England's language, laws, and political traditions. Christianity spread after missions from Rome, and monasteries became important centers of learning and culture. From the late 8th century, Viking attacks transformed Britain. Scandinavian warriors first came as raiders but later settled and ruled large areas. The Danelaw, a region under Viking influence, developed its own customs and laws. The Viking threat encouraged English kingdoms to unite, especially under the leadership of Wessex. Alfred the Great became famous for defending his kingdom and supporting education and legal reforms. A major turning point came in 1066 when Battle of Hastings changed England forever. William the Conqueror introduced Norman rule, replacing many Anglo-Saxon nobles with Norman leaders. The Normans built castles, reorganized land ownership, and introduced French influence into the English language. The Domesday Book recorded land and wealth across England and showed the strength of Norman administration. The medieval period was marked by the growth of Parliament, conflicts between kings and nobles, and wars abroad. The Magna Carta forced King John to accept limits on royal power and became an important symbol of the rule of law. England fought long wars with France, including the 100 Years' War. The Black Death caused enormous population loss and changed society by creating labor shortages and weakening old feudal systems. The Tudor Age began after the Wars of the Roses. Tudor monarchs increased royal authority and made England a stronger centralized state. Henry VIII separated England from the authority of the Pope, creating the Church of England. This caused religious conflicts between Catholics and Protestants. During the reign of Elizabeth I, England experienced a cultural golden age, with writers such as William Shakespeare, overseas exploration, and victory against the Spanish Armada. The 17th century brought serious conflict over government and religion. The struggle between king and parliament led to the English Civil War. After the defeat and execution of Charles I, England briefly became a republic. Oliver Cromwell ruled as Lord Protector before the monarchy returned. The Glorious Revolution established that Parliament held greater authority than the monarch. The 18th century saw Britain expand overseas and develop a powerful navy. The union between England and Scotland in 1707 created Great Britain. Trade, exploration, and colonial expansion increased British influence worldwide. However, the loss of the American colonies after the American Revolutionary War showed the limits of imperial power. The 19th century was dominated by the Industrial Revolution. Britain became the world's leading industrial nation, producing coal, textiles, machinery, and railways. Cities grew rapidly, but industrialization also created problems such as pollution, poor working conditions, and inequality. Social reforms gradually improved public health, education, and workers' rights. The British Empire reached its greatest size during this period. The 20th century brought dramatic change. Britain fought in both world wars, with enormous human and economic costs. After World War II, the empire declined as many nations gained independence. British history stretches across many centuries of invasion, political change, cultural development, and global influence. From the end of Roman rule to the modern United Kingdom, the story of Britain is one of transformation. After the Romans left Britain around the 5th century, the island entered the early medieval period. Various groups, including the Angles, Saxons, and Jutes, settled in Britain and created several kingdoms. This period is often called Anglo-Saxon England. Christianity spread, literacy increased, and powerful kingdoms developed, especially Wessex under rulers such as Alfred the Great, who resisted Viking invasions and promoted education. From the late 8th century, Viking raids and settlements shaped British history. The Vikings established control over parts of England, known as the Danelaw. In 1066, a major turning point occurred when William the Conqueror defeated Harold Godwinson at the Battle of Hastings. The Norman Conquest changed England's language, government, architecture, and social structure. During the medieval period, English kings expanded royal authority and faced conflicts with nobles. The signing of the Magna Carta limited the power of the monarchy and influenced ideas about law and government. The Middle Ages also saw the 100 Years' War with France and the devastating Black Death, which killed a large part of the population. The Tudor period began in 1485 after the Wars of the Roses. The Tudors strengthened the monarchy and brought major religious change. Under Henry VIII, England broke from the Roman Catholic Church, leading to the creation of the Church of England. Elizabeth I ruled during a period of exploration, cultural growth, and conflict with Spain, including the defeat of the Spanish Armada. The 17th century was a time of political struggle. The conflict between Parliament and the monarchy led to the English Civil War, the execution of Charles I, and the temporary establishment of a republic under Oliver Cromwell. The monarchy was restored in 1660, but the Glorious Revolution strengthened Parliament and helped create Britain's constitutional system. The 18th and 19th centuries saw Britain become a major world power. The Industrial Revolution began in Britain, transforming manufacturing, transport, and society. The British Empire expanded across the world, creating both economic power and lasting debates about colonialism. In 1707, England and Scotland formed the Kingdom of Great Britain, and in 1801 Britain united with Ireland. The 20th century brought 2 world wars, economic challenges, and the decline of the British Empire. After World War II, many colonies became independent. Britain became a modern parliamentary democracy and a member of international organizations such as United Nations. Today, the United Kingdom is a diverse constitutional monarchy made up of England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. Its history of 1600 years reflects conquest, innovation, conflict, and cultural change, leaving a global legacy in politics, language, science, and culture.